Good morning, beloveds. The day started out kind of weird. Apparently, I forgot to turn my alarm on, which is not that big of a thing. Tom had his alarm on. But apparently when his alarm went off, he got up. I didn't notice. It was raining, so he was deliberately quiet. He didn't come wake me up. So instead, he ran to the grocery store, and I snuggled with the cats. So we didn't exercise, but I did get a shower, wash my hair because, it needed it. And now I'm going to go tackle my work week. But first, we have a reading. Our title is I Am Inspired from On High. And if you have learned anything, that's an Ernest Holmes title. It's an Ernest Holmes reading. I glanced. I read that title and I went, Ernest Holmes. So it is January 2nd. Our title is I Am Inspired from On High. Our quote is, though ye believe not me, believe the works that ye may know, and believe that the Spirit in me is in me, and I am in it. And that is John 10:38. Jesus, in utmost simplicity, proclaimed in ecstasy of his illumination, I and the Spirit are one. What do you suppose would happen if you believed this? Not as a mere intellectual concept, but with deep inward feeling and an expanding sense of its meaning. Would you not sell all that you possess for this single pearl of utmost worth, this drop of water taken from the ocean of being, this mountaintop of revelation? If the wisest man who ever lived proclaimed this truth, should you not accept it simply, directly, sincerely? Perhaps this seems to be too good to be true, yet all nature is a living example, a continuous reminder that there is a spirit animating and sustaining everything, a law governing, coordinating, binding all together, a unifying principle holding everything in place. I cleanse the windows of my mind. It may become a mirror reflecting the inspiration from the Most High. This inspiration within me governs every thought, every act with certainty, with conviction, and in peace. The key that unlocks the treasures of the kingdom of good is in my possession. I unlock the doorway of my consciousness and gently open it that the divine presence may flood my whole being with light, illuminate me with its radiant glow, and direct my footsteps into the pathways of peace and joy. Today, I am inspired from on high. And it is E.H. It is Ernest Holmes. You kind of, after you do this for a while, you kind of get to learn, oh yeah, no, that's an Ernest Holmes title. It's like, I looked to make sure, but yeah. Ernest Holmes title, I am inspired from on high. And he has these great turn of phrases because I use the open the windows of your soul, which is an Ernest Holmes turn of phrase. Well, he's got another one. I cleanse the windows of my mind. And that's kind of what New Year's is about. I told you yesterday, I don't believe in making New Year's resolutions. I don't. My life has been much better and a whole lot happier since I quit making New Year's resolutions. But the idea of 365 new opportunities, I can get behind that. I can also get behind, I know we talk about spring cleaning, but New Year is a good time to do that because we're turning over into a new. So why not do some cleansing? Ernest is suggesting, well, let's cleanse the windows. So it's like, yes, we can open the windows to our soul and allow that breeze in, but also if we cleanse the windows, then we can see more clearly and we can see those 365 opportunities. We can see more clearly, the spirit around us all of the time. And that's one of those things. And I forget who the quote is, and it could be Ansel Adams, or any number of Native American, leaders who said, it's like people proclaim to believe in God while destroying the very body of evidence that is God, meaning nature. It's like when you look around, there are rules, Flowers bloom at a certain time. Bees collect pollen and do a certain thing with it. These things don't not happen, and they happen in cycles, and so there are definitely rules. And it's like, so there are rules, and they are clearly evident if we pay attention. Hence cleansing our windows, cleansing our mind, cleansing our heart, and so I can get behind that for New Year's. But what Ernest is talking about is being inspired from on high. Now, whether you believe Jesus or not, that's between you and Jesus. But one of the things that Ernest said is, yes, Jesus was the wisest man ever. But hey, look, every other sacred tradition in the world says a very similar thing. They all say there is one Spirit, that each and every one of us are built of that Spirit, that everything around us is built of that Spirit, that Spirit flows through us. And so then here's where I get a little country, because I grew up in the country, and I remember the joys of drinking from the hose. Okay. I know children today parents can be a little weird about letting their kids drink from the hose, but there was that joy of drinking from the hose on a hot day after you've been outside doing whatever, working or playing, doesn't matter. Because when you're a child, there's not a whole lot of difference between work and play. Would we be so lucky to carry that into adulthood? And then, so, you drink, and if you had siblings, there was nothing quite like kinking that hose or stepping on that hose. And so then they hold up the water to their face and they're like, why is this? And then you step off or you unkink that hose and they get sprayed in the face because the pressure's built up. And that's kind of what it always reminds me of when we read, I'm inspired from on high. It's like that inspiration, that love, that kindness, that compassion, all of those attributes, that peace, that joy, that happiness, they're always flowing to you. The question is whether or not you are willing to allow them to flow through you. All right. Are you stepping on your own hose? Are you kinking your own hose? Because all of that, like the reading yesterday, it's like joy always exists. Happiness always exists. It's a principle. But we've got to align with it. This is the same thing. We are inspired from on high. Are we kinking our own hose? It's like we always have the possibility of any of these principles, any of these, but we get in our own way. We step on our own hose. We kink our own hose. And then we're looking at the hose going, well, what is the problem here? When what we ought to be looking for is where we're kinking it. And so then we go back to the cleaning, go back to the cleaning. If we search the hose, where is the knot? Where is the kink? Where's the rock that is sitting on it, that we can easily kick off of it. So that we can go back to being inspired from on high, but by being willing to let that light flow into us and through us. Oh, Ernest, he brings out the country girl in me. I grew up on military bases, but there was this brief time that I lived in the country. So, I got a little bit of that. He has that line in here. He says, if the wisest man who ever lived proclaimed this truth, should you not accept it simply, directly, and sincerely? All right. Perhaps this seems too good to be true. Yet all of nature is a living example, a continuous reminder that there is spirit animating and sustaining everything, a law governing and coordinating, binding all together, a unifying principle holding everything in place. I and the Spirit are one. We are made of God, by God, for God. And I'm going to go back to the old gem. Our life is a gift from God. What we do with our life is a gift to God. So, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to cleanse the windows of our mind, that it might become a mirror reflecting the inspiration from the Most High. And that serves a twofold purpose. It is to inspire you, but it's also to inspire the people around you, because you become a mirror of what you believe. You become a mirror of the God that you believe in, of the principles that you believe in, of the love that you believe in. So people look into you to see who you believe in, to see what it is that you believe. And they look by, and they see by the words that you speak, by the actions that you take, by the things that you do. And that's why we want to cleanse the windows of our minds and open the windows of our soul, so that the people around us can see, which is where we get the phrase that, and it's from Jesse, it's from Reverend Jesse. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right. So let January be a time of cleansing. If you want to make resolutions, more power to you. But that's what it is. 365 new opportunities to be the reflection of what you believe in the world. It's not a small mission. It's not. It is everything that you are. It absolutely is. And it pays to be clear on that. When you are authentic with who you are and what you believe, the world's a better place. All right. So you got your mission. The other one is the same thing that I suggest every day, spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. With the time being the time of New Year's resolutions and how people can make themselves all kinds of crazy about it, this is extra important. The spiritual practice of being gentle with yourself. Cleaning is not always the most fun. Cleaning is not always the easiest task. It is a very necessary task, but in the process of that, you can be absolutely gentle with yourself. You can be loving with yourself, kind with yourself, compassionate with yourself, especially when you pick up icky things and you go, really? I didn't know that was in there. Well, now you know, and now you can do something about it. So be kind, be loving, be gentle. You deserve it. You deserve it. I know I say that you are your own best test subject, but I also believe in the aspect of self-care. And that's what this is. That's what the spiritual practice is about. It's absolutely about taking care of yourself, digging that stuff out that you didn't know was in there and letting it go because it no longer serves you. You will find things that you were like, oh, I remember when I believed that. Well, I don't believe it anymore, and it's time for it to go. It no longer serves me. That's part of what's mine to do. Sometimes there are things that we have been doing out of habit that we are no longer even aware that we do them. Well, New Year's a good time to look at those old habits and go, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I'm going to pick up something new. And it's going to be loving, it's going to be kind, and it's going to be compassionate. And it's going to be for me and for everybody else. It is about self-care. Now, I also say that this is about joy. It is about taking time for yourself, making room for joy, no matter what is happening. All right. When we walk through grief, and as a center, we absolutely are. It is a very heavy burden to carry. It is extra important in those times to make that space for joy. My metaphor is to eat dessert first. You can take it literally, but to make those spots of joy. Because it reminds us that no matter what work that we do, be it melancholy, and grief work is melancholy, there are bright spots. There are moments for joy. And they'll get bigger to remind us why we go on. That's what it's about. So, practice joy. practice joy. Practice joy. All right. So it can look like eating dessert first. It can look like reading a good book. It can look like taking a deep breath. It can look like taking a nap. It can look like taking a walk. It can look like calling a good friend. All right. Any of those, all of those, and far more than I could ever think of. I'm sure you guys have way more ideas about this than I could even list on this. But the reminder is there. Love, kindness, compassion. You deserve your own love, your own kindness, your own compassion. Remember the beloved child of God. That is who you are. All right. So also do something to engage your mind and your body. If it's raining, maybe figure something else out or take a rest day. You're allowed to take those. Absolutely allowed to take those. Built into the program. Make sure that you drink plenty of water. Make sure that you get your early in your day bright light. You can get bright light all day until it's time to go to bed, but early in the day resets that circadian rhythm. It definitely improves your energy during the day, helps you sleep better at night. It's science. You can look it up. And then there's that phrase, because he's got such cute colloquialisms. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. So 1, we do want to keep them clean, but 2, we want to make sure we open them occasionally. Allow that breath of heaven to remind us of the superpower that we come pre-installed with. It's called the Christ consciousness. It's also called love. And when we practice that, the world's a better place. The world is a better place. And we can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Look for the good and praise it. And I'm always going to remind you that some of the good in your world is you. You know what? Because you're made by God, of God, for God. And God is good. Therefore, you are. All right. Social media part, Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. And if you want to know what's going on, email info@creativelife.org. Things are going to go. January is going to be a crazy month. And I've alluded to grief a couple of times. There is a service planned for Ruth. It will happen in February. It'll be in the next good email. So email if you want to get into that. There will be a Zoom link, but don't ask for that until February. So, all right. And if you're watching this after February, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. Okay. Yeah. So, here's where I encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a cleaning day, an opening your windows day. I mean, here it's in the 70s, so, open the windows. A getting stuff aligned in your new year, a practicing on yourself day, a Monday, if it's that year, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are God in action. You are spirit in motion. You are a godling. Remember who you are, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right. So take care of yourself. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. and we will kick this year into gear. This is the year of alignment. We are going to align ourselves with the principles this year, as if we haven't been doing it all the time already anyway. But I think that's going to be my focus, alignment. Okay, so know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.